Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of the DecompresSean Cast. Episode 6. Lads, here we are. Here we fucking are. I'll tell you guys right now, it is 2:15 a.m. And I realize that, it's the end of the month. Gotta get on this shit. Gotta release this. Gotta get it going for the people. Give you guys the good old updates, all that juicy shit. So, let's just get right into it. Let's just get into one of our topics here today. So, last time, when we left off on the DecompresSean Cast, I'll be honest, lads, we were expecting a Nate video, weren't we? We were expecting a FF7R video, and I'll just go over this very briefly. He apparently has put pause that video for the time being. I guess he thought it might have needed more work or something, which fucking blows. So I suppose he retracted his quote-unquote promise on that. And his FF7 video is still not out and did not come out in the month of January. That's a damn shame. Probably would have been a great time to release it. But if it's really taking this long, might as well release it for the anniversary. Am I right? But that being said, the reasoning he stated, at least, for this was because he was apparently going to work on a more important video in the meantime, quickly, apparently, something that came up. So my theory on this, the first thing that jumps out is Attack on Titan, maybe a video on that, just because it's something that he is covering recently that maybe he has more passion or feeling for, in a sense. I also theorize that it could be the long-awaited KH3 Remind video. It has been a year since Remind came out, and I don't even know if he finished it or beat it. That would be good to know. So I would love a video from him on that. Obviously, I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. But hey, what do we expect now, right? The other thing I was theorizing was Smash. I believe he gonna make at least 2 Smash videos. I believe Steve and Sephiroth, those are something that potentially could be released sooner rather than later. Depends how much work would go into it, I guess. But hey, you could always make a meme one. Those seem to suffice as well, like the Isabelle one, for example. But yeah, those are like the 3 things that jump out to me immediately. If you guys have any other thoughts on what it could be, this mysterious construction, let me know. Any Natehead theorists out there? But yeah, those are my picks for the moment. AOT, KH3, or Smash. It could be another video that's just from, completely out of left field. No idea what it really could be. But that being said, we've pretty much already got our essential Nate discussion out of the way. One funny thing to note, though, one funny meme. Michelle DM'd Simon to ask if I was gay, to which I am not, which is honestly hilarious for a plethora of reasons. But as we all know, as all of us are very aware, I am a tit fag, as they would say. And, yeah, characters with the big titties, though. Pretty epic. And that's why One Piece is great for that kind of thing, too. What do you know? So moving on from that, there's a lot I want to get into. I guess I should just get into the meat and potatoes of this immediately, because this will, well, let's do a little tangent first. Something I've noticed on Twitter, just seeing art in general, specifically Final Fantasy VII art, is I still see this shit meme that Aeris has tits. And it's such a bad meme. It's a horrible meme. She is flat as a board, retards. Okay? Let's set the record straight. Here's the deal. Aeris is flat. Flat as fuck, okay? I do not... And she is a religious person of fucking, like, Christian values and shit. She should not be showing that much cleavage. Cleavage. It's cringe. And she is flat. That's the contrast. She's supposed to contrast to Tifa. You see, it's all a part of the plan. Aeris having tits is a bad meme. Okay? So that is something that impassioned me a couple times this week, seeing some art from various places. Aeris does not have tits. Get blown the fuck out. Tifa Chads, where are you at? Rise, my kings, rise. So, let's get into the meat and potatoes of everything. You guys would like to know, Sean, last episode you said you finished filming the lecture. Where is it? So, if you guys remember, last DecompresSean Cast, I said, the thing is that it's very long, first of all. 7 hours and 48 minutes, somewhere around there. It is very long, first of all. And not only do I have to edit a lot of things with that, it's that, first of all, I have the main video. Okay, that's one thing to edit. Second of all, I have my audio. That's another thing to edit. And after that comes everyone else's audio, everyone else who participated, the other 8 people who were there. I have to edit and sync their audios. Those things will take a long ass time, I gotta say. So I will say that if I had to give a general broad sense of, where I'm at currently on this day, February 1st, 2:22 a.m., I would give a roughly... See, it's hard for me to even say this because, I can't... obviously I'm not going to give any hard timeline or, sort of progress or percentage kind of things. But if I had to take just a rough estimate, I'm about 1/6 of the way through probably editing, just the master video. And it is a process, lads. It'll spur into a lot of other topics, but I'll stay focused on the lecture specifically for now. And I'll just say that how far I got with the video, it was only from one, I would say, major or good editing session. And the reason being for that too, just because it's hard for me to find time to do stuff for the lecture. As you guys know, I'm a busy guy, still in school, not quite out yet. I'm hoping to finish though. Hopefully I'll be done from this torture in, June. Hopefully. Now, I'm not saying that the lecture should take another 4 months. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that that's when school will no longer impede me in any way. And that's why I don't want to give a rough timeline. I mean, I did privately say to some people that I would love a Q1 2021 release. I'm not too certain on how realistic that actually is. And that involves a lot of different things. You guys know how school is, college specifically. Every class is, I'll be honest, very demanding with their time and whatnot. And, every class, they put up this idea that, you should be committing 15 hours for every class a week. And that's just so unrealistic and a shit meme. Like, these classes are like, okay, you have an hour of lecture. You need to watch all these videos. You need to do participation assignments and homework assignments and labs and everything. And it's just so... It's a load of bullshit to me, personally. That being said, I am kind of going on a tangent. What else about the lecture specifically? So, one thing that was kind of unfortunate, I don't remember if I mentioned this last time, but I had a dual camera setup, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, even though I swear I set it to autofocus, my secondary camera, which is like my actual camera, all the footage in that is actually unusable. So it looks as if the lecture will be fully off my webcam, which should be okay. Obviously not ideal. Like, I would have loved to cut in the meantime to that other camera for, other reasons or whatever. There was one kind of positive, I guess, which was that the alternate camera angle had a view of, like, my bed where a bunch of, like, props and stuff were. So I didn't want to, like, spoil anything. So it only being the webcam video footage is honestly not terrible, at least in my opinion. And that being said, what can you guys expect, I guess? I want to give you, like, more of an idea. So I've already told you guys it's like 7 hours and 40 something minutes. Very, very long. Once, a little while from now, hopefully next month I'll have better news on this. Hell, maybe it might be done by next month. That's probably a little too optimistic, but we'll see. I'll just say that once I get this thing finished, quote unquote, what you will see from me, what you can expect, is that once I do finish, I will take some time to make a trailer. I mentioned this before, and I think it's something that a big video like this would deserve. What that entails to specifically, I'm not exactly certain. I kind of have like a title and like a theme in mind for the trailer. And I also have like an idea for what I can do for some of the edits and stuff. But I do need to iron out some specifics for it. That's something that you guys can, expect or look forward to, is that once I am finished, and then I will work on a trailer. Whenever you see that trailer, you'll see it someday, soon in your feed. I promise. Whenever you see that trailer, the lecture will not come too long after that. I will, throw you guys a bone there and say that's what you can expect. You will see a trailer eventually, and it will come out not too long after that. Whatever day of the week I happen to like release the trailer on, I'll probably like release the actual lecture like that next Friday or something along that line. So that's one thing you can expect. And I guess you guys might want to know a little bit more inside baseball too, is like, what is the editing process? Because it is very complex, because the way I had it set up with my friends is that no one did everything the same, let's just say. First of all, that was something that was nigh unavoidable just for various reasons, like space or time and that kind of thing for their individual audio and or videos. So first of all, no one's shit is exactly the same. So one problem really in the editing process, one that will take the most time, is syncing. Because it was a problem that was sort of brought by myself, but also because other people just decided to do it however they wanted to for whatever reason, understandably, is we kind of like resynced, quote unquote, every like 30 minutes. So when you guys are going to be watching the actual lecture itself, it will roughly be split up into like you guys probably won't be able to tell, but actually maybe you will, but roughly every, it's not going to be 30 minutes, but it'll be like 29, 28, or 27, something, something roughly like that, depending on the edits and what's cut and what's kept in. But, the lecture will be split up into segments roughly that long. And by the way, this is the same video. Don't get it confused. I'm just saying from a editing, standpoint, that's roughly how the cuts are going to be. So you guys will get chunky content, basically. And content that obviously no one is going to sit through in one sitting. So, it will give you ample time to pause, at various segments for whatever reason. And I hope to make my lecture similar to the PCP ones, at least in this vein. I hope to give a set of time codes. I'll like pin it. It'll be like the top comment, something like that. And also, I need to keep in mind too, another thing is redoing the doc and all that. I think I mentioned that on the last episode. But yeah. So that's things about like the editing process for the lecture, what to expect, the trailer, etc. But there is more I can get into here, just for you guys, because obviously you're invested in this, and thank you for that. So one thing I'm like highly considering, but this will only see the light of day once I finish, is lecture guests, really. I'm still, like I said before in previous DecompresSean casts, once the lecture is finished, that will be the time to hit people up and see if they want to like guest in any way. Because only then really can like, if they, for example, want to see the work or whatever, that I will have something like ready, like I will have it ready and like tangible to be able to show them. And that's one thing too. So I still have like my list or whatever of like Yu-Gi-Oh people I want to hit up, and hopefully they would oblige, I'll just say. And another thing bouncing off that, that's sort of tangential to guess, is one thing I'll do special for the lecture is I'm going to do some art commissions for the lecture. I already have one in the works. I already technically have one done and ready that you guys will see, and I have another in the works, but I know that I'm definitely going to try to get much more commission work. I want to see if I can like get roughly the main cast throughout the series runtime, and see who's willing to do so, I want to get a wide array in like 2 of artists, and I want to get people sort of like in the PCP sphere, I guess, if that makes sense as well, just so I can like hype this up even more, And yeah, so look forward to custom artwork in the lecture video, so that'll be sick. And then after that too is like shoutouts and things. And about that, I will obviously, if I'm planning to do all this commission work, I'm going to be shouting out a lot of people. So I really hope that you guys look forward to the description. That it's probably going to be a clusterfuck, but the description of the lecture will probably have a lot of information and resources and credits and shoutouts and stuff in it too. So I hope that you guys will appreciate that kind of extra effort from me to do that, because that's something that I've always admired, at least from, I believe, Nate's lectures, is that he has an extensive time code list. Like I said, I'll try to do that with the comment just to save some space, and also the fact that like he credits everything. I really vibe with that. I will try to do so and give everyone the credit and shout outs that they deserve if they did some art for me. Obviously, giving them money, pretty sick. Getting them, some notoriety, or, hell, even drawing their, fans, I guess, to the video would be awesome. And bouncing off that, another thing about the lecture is the, rather than editing process, the actual edits themselves, I am trying to, I know it sounds a little rough, and it is, but I have ideas and have already done some interesting, unique, fitting, edits for the lecture. And there's something I want to do with that stuff too, that you guys will see. Can't reveal anything right now, but I kind of want to do some more complex, quote unquote, editing myself in this video. It really will be an exercise in various aspects. But yeah, there's certain, vibes and things that I'm going to try to go for that'll be pretty clear or self-evident. And yeah, that'll be really hype. Only concern is copyright with that stuff. So I might post some of those edits on their own. However, I'm not sure how that would even work either, to be quite honest. But my hope, though, is that, the vast majority of this will be original content. So hopefully, I don't want this thing to get claimed in any way. I want it to have the most visibility possible. So I'll probably upload some test it'll take forever to render. My God, I don't want to imagine it right now, but if a version of the lecture that has edits will get claimed, I will probably try to upload one without those edits, or at least upload the edits separately so it doesn't affect the video itself. And I will probably, depending on what happens with that stuff, I'll probably upload those edits afterwards, is my plan. And I'm hoping that those videos would get some notoriety or recognition as well. So yeah, that's sort of the list of a lot of stuff about the lecture, really. Plans, trailer, editing process, guests, commissions, shoutouts, crediting, descriptions, actual edits, etc. That's kind of my plans with a lot of things. I'm someone who likes to have things very planned out before execution, and tackling things like that will only, benefit myself rather than just kind of going into this shit blind without any plans. So yeah, hope you guys are looking forward to that stuff. Don't want to give any hard deadlines or anything. I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't have a Patreon with hundreds of fucking followers. So, there's no, I understand the concerns. Everyone wants to see it, including me. I would rather be working on it than doing school stuff. And I understand everyone's concerns with that. And I agree. I sympathize. Or I guess empathize in this case. Fuck me. Am I using that right? And yeah, empathize. I mean, obviously, I empathize more with these people than anyone because I'm the one actually doing the work as is. But yeah, that being said, sorry about that little blank spot there. But let's just continue. You guys know how the DecompresSean Cast is. It's just kind of an unedited, straight line of thought, I guess, really, jumping from topic to topic, like this. So like I said, though, about the lecture, there is a lot of pressure, and just overall, I guess, in my life, in theory, I'm not really under a lot of pressure. It's more so that I just choose to kind of, do what I want to do. rather than do what I quote unquote should do. And it's an interesting discussion and kind of debate to have. But you can't, as we know, you can't live, your life fully like a communa. It will backfire on you eventually. It will not work 100% of the time. In that, what I'm trying to do, is self-evident in the Best Anime Ever Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann video, in trying to choose the middle path, the combination and the blend, which is the hardest. That's like the thing to keep in mind. In that, although there is a lot of, I personally maybe feel a lot of pressure, there really isn't. I should not ask for a lighter burden. I should ask for broader shoulders. And for me, that's just time management. I'm thankful that I have the freedom to do this thing, to do these things, kind of fuck around a lot of the time. But I do need to take some personal fucking responsibility. And that's why I just, need to do my homework and things efficiently, in a more efficient manner. Excuse me, and I hope to do that this week and even right now as well. Doing even this shitty monthly podcast is something that involves consistency and actually taking responsibility in that this will be out every month, updates for the people, as I've always kind of said that this is, and working to, carry on the torch, go beyond what, my predecessors have done. I'm looking at a certain anime YouTuber right now. You have to go beyond these people. You have to take what you've learned from watching these people and, understand where they made their mistakes, where they made their successes, where they made their accomplishments, and you have to do better than them. That's kind of what life is about, if you think about it, You take the previous knowledge and everything that's been built up until your current existence, in doing your best to try and go beyond that. I hope that you can, understand that, and that's kind of a deep, I know it's funny, but deep and interesting, concept to, that's what life is really about. And, the fact that we birth more people and whatnot, it's, it's so you can, see, eventually your kids grow up and do better than you. I know it's, a funny meme to relate it to random bumfuck YouTubers on the internet, but it's true. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know what I would have become without, discovering Nate's channel and Best Anime Ever, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann and all that stuff, because although still not great now, I was and still am extremely lazy, the mantra of personal responsibility was something that was important, for me to learn about, all those years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, or whatever it is now. It's something that means a lot to me, as someone who kind of used to just kind of let the world get to him rather than getting to the world. This kind of thing, just posting a random audio video onto your YouTube channel, it's something that, even in a little way, represents that. So I hope that you can understand, where I'm coming from and why there's so much discussion to be had about what really is a pivotal kind of moment for me. And funnily enough, how that relates to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I guess you guys will find out, but the doc will explain everything in due time, lads, in due time. because there is a law, that everything comes back to Gurren Lagann. That's kind of my mindset, in a lot of ways. Let's just say. But speaking of, one reason that this kind of shit always comes up really is, the consumption of, what really is pretty good media, and all things considered. And one thing that I did since the last DecompresSean Cast was I thought to myself, Attack on Titan, that's a show that I watched back when it came out, back when it was, the thing, back in I was in middle school back then, so it was like 2013, 14-ish, and I think 2014, and how crazy of a show it is, and how great it is, and I thought to myself, geez, man, the final season is actually here. I'm rather surprised. And I've heard people kind of talking shit about the CG and whatnot. Why don't I just read the manga? I'll just catch up. And I fucking did it. I did it so fast. I did it in 2.5 days. I went from the chapter where they reach the ocean until being all the way caught up in 2.5 days, which is pretty insane, honestly, by my standards. I was totally glued to the fucking pages. I loved what I was reading, to be honest. There really is a great narrative going on. I honestly could understand some gripes with the series. However, I still think it is overall very fucking good in a lot of ways. I could go into much more detail, but I suppose the most important things, one of the biggest themes, unironically, is freedom and personal freedom, and what lengths you will go to achieve personal freedom for you and your others and your friends, and a lot of kind of general shonen-y tropes, but done well, by all means, and things such as breaking a cycle of hatred and whatnot, things that are pretty fucking important, tackling discrimination and propaganda, and how history is told by the winners and whatnot. And, don't be optimistically skeptical and whatnot. Don't believe everything you fucking see on the internet. I think it's all actually a really fucking good metaphor at the moment. Although some story pieces and bits are very confusing, let's just say, and very interesting, in that it achieves Kojoro's trifecta of autism eventually. So if you guys don't know what that means, it means that your piece of media has these 3 things. It has time travel, / manipulation, whatever you want to call it. It has people are other people or are in others people, that kind of thing. And then the other thing is memory loss, just in general. And if I'm not mistaken, Attack on Titan pretty much gets to all 3 of those things. Let's just say, because light spoilers, I guess, but in the most recent couple of chapters, it does get to, let's just say, time travel, pretty much. We literally see, so still spoilers, by the way, we literally see Eren influence the past, which is really fucking strange, let's just say. But yeah, AOT achieves the autism trifecta. But it is funny how this metric of Kojoro's almost essentially winds up applying to almost all or any media franchises that go on for like a certain amount of time. I would love to hear anyone's opinion if they feel like there's a piece of media that those three things do not apply to. I would love to hear if that is the case for anything. Let's just take a random ass example. Final Fantasy VII. Memory loss. That's in there. Time travel? Yeah, sorta. And people are in other people / are the other people? Sorta. With the remake and Genova cells and whatnot and Sephiroth and Kingdom Hearts, great example. Tons of memory loss, decent amount of time travel, lots of people are in other people or are other people, obviously. Geez, what else? I don't know. But those are just like, easy ones, really. Fate, Kajiro mentions all the time. And yeah, I suppose that really like everything comes back to Final Fantasy. Fucking A. Doesn't it, lads? Doesn't it all come back to Final fucking Fantasy? It's interesting. I know people harp and whine and moan on various things, but I really find myself more like a realist, like a Barrett type. Let's save the fucking planet. Let's become eco-terrorists, Kappa in Minecraft. Let's eat the rich, and let's save the world. Like that's what I want to do, lads. It's very interesting, though. Very interesting. All media relates to each other in a weird, funky, quirky way. So I suppose that is most of what I had to say. I suppose I can go into more detail on some other things. Oh, right. Most important thing I almost forgot was the reason, more of the reason I started reading Attack on Titan, right? Was, I used to watch so much anime. I used to keep up weekly with certain shows. Black Clover and I don't know, like some other like generically popular things at the time. Food Wars, that's a good example. I used to keep up with those kind of things weekly, and ever since Kiss Anime got shut down, it was on my phone. It was so easy, it was so accessible. Excuse me, and ever since it got shut down, I had no way or means of really easily accessing that content anymore. Like, I could, find a different website or whatever, but, like, all that shit took work because I just already had the Kiss Anime tabs open, so it was super simple and easy to kind of keep up on. And the thing about that, too, is, like, now that I, like, know the resource for manga and I, like, have it open on my phone, it's a more consistent reminder for me to do so. But my point that I'm getting to here is this. What do you guys think? If any of you at home are willing to comment, what manga should I, like, read next after Attack on Titan? I'm probably not going to get to it for a little while just so I can focus on other things. But the thing that I am highly considering, at least right now, is I am highly considering Chainsaw Man. It really seems like my kind of manga. I heard Super Eye Patch Wolf talk about it a long fucking time ago, and it really sounded like my kind of show. Protag seems to be a titty boy, so that's like all my meme right there. And it seems like another very good and interesting show that a lot of people kind of hype up. So I'm curious if it is good and stays good consistently, kind of like Attack on Titan. I'm curious to see if that is the case with that. So yeah, rough summary of kind of how this month went is, I am feeling a lot of pressure. I'm trying to do my best. Be a Simone. Don't be a Kamina, nor don't be a complete Rossyu. That's not my goal. As much as the upsides of kind of being one or the other, would be the best thing, although the hardest, is to try and be a Simone. I do not want to be a Kamina who just, who would just in theory work on the lecture and still be editing the pronoun cast and basically disregarding either all or almost all of my schoolwork, because it would be kind of unrealistic to all do. Nor do I want to be this total cold-blooded, Rossiu type who would only do and focus on his homework and never do any of the fun stuff, never work on the lecture, never, hang out with the lads or help with the pronoun or do anything with that. This is the balance that I kind of constantly sort of try to stay on, in a general sense, really. This is why it's like really influencing too. It just relates to everything, and it's so easy, to make this sort of comparison that a lot of you, hopefully, would understand. So yeah, that's sort of how my month has gone. School is a little hard and a little overbearing sometimes, but the fact of the matter is, I just got to manage my time better. I just struggle with that fact of, I don't want to become a fucking robot. I want to have fun. I want to live my life, but I do want to do the work that needs to be done or should be done. And a lot of, the deal with that is to hopefully graduate in like 4.5 months. And God, by then, you guys will probably get one of the happiest DecompresSean casts of my life. It totally will be, when the time comes. And that being said, too, I hope that you guys would look forward to that, because once I'm done with school, expect way more content to, be able to be made. I don't know if you guys would at all want it, but Dam's Crescendo 2? Or other. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I could start making more compact, monthly videos or something like that. Just blow the fuck out of Nate. I could consider something like that. What if he does a Mia Math of a 3 this year since he didn't do one last year? I could consider holding off on a monthly challenge for now and just try and do better on other stuff. Like I said, there's a lot up in the air right now, let's just say. It's a turning point for, the world, really. And not only is it for the world, for this country, for everyone, for me specifically. Do I rise to the challenge? Take a lot of, good personal responsibility, ask for broader shoulders, not a lighter burden, do everything I need to do? Or do I fuck up along the way? I guess that's, what we're here to see, and you guys will probably hear about on the next episode of the DecompresSean Cast. Thank y'all for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.